Good morning on Friday, the 13th of December 2024. It's 8 a.m. in the Gambia and therefore coffee time on West Coast Radio with me, Peter Gomez. And coffee time is brought to you in association with the USAP EEC and GAM Food Trading. Easy Financial Services, Global Properties, Wave, Bloombank Africa, Tap Africa Global, and the Gambia Experience.
Did you know service plots are now available at Baki? Welcome to Baki, Tap City's fourth residential estate.
Yes, service plots available at Baki with 3 years interest-free payment plan with a minimum deposit of only $94,000, and it will come with fenced plot, water reticulation, electricity, solar street lights, and bituminized internal roads. Are you ready to build your dream home for yourself?
Call us now.
We begin our press review with the Point newspaper. Supreme Court dismisses UDP claims. Police investigate suspected murderer in URR. GRA Deputy CG hails Gambia media. €100,000 EU-funded solar project will power over 1,000 schools. Foreign Affairs evacuates Gambians from Lebanon, and Gambian minister and delegation meet congressmen. On to Foraya's front page. Supreme Court dismisses UDP's case against 6 presidential advisors. Supreme Court to deliver judgment in Yankuba Toure's criminal appeal. Public health insurance piloted in facility, says minister. Police arrest alleged murderer of nurse in URR as investigations underway. ATI commissioners reviewing requests to access information. Energy minister reveals plans to address water challenges in rural and urban Gambia. And GRA commends media for raising taxpayer awareness about its activities. Next, a look at the Voice front cover. Dr. Gajigo claims Africa 50 agreement badly negotiated without transparency. MRC Workers' Union lawyer argues court lacks jurisdiction to hear MRC's summons against staff. Significant progress made in out-of-court settlement in Minister Manjang's $50 million suit against journalist Mane. BB Dabo says flamboyant style of Meet the People tour deviates from its mandate. Over 40 Gambians die in migrant shipwreck, according to Drame. Serekunda Health Center rendered inaccessible due to blockades by market vendors, says National Assembly member. We end with the Standards Friday front cover. 2 woolly men plead guilty to parricide. Supreme Court dismisses UDP suit against presidential advisors and declares no case against FJC, Rambo and others. Hamad says low energy Dabo should quit politics now. UTG files for contempt of court against striking lecturers. CG Dabo raps on the imperative of unity at GRA, and Information Commission reviewing cases against 6 institutions. And that was your first look at the front pages of Friday's newspapers. Our thanks to The Standard, Foraya, The Point, and The Voice.
Looking for an establishment where value for money and unrivaled services with admirable turnaround time is guaranteed? The Port of Banjul is the perfect place for you, a vital gateway for trade offering connections to numerous global destinations. With improved infrastructure combined with a flexible tariff, the Port of Banjul remains a vital node in maritime trade. Along with its dedicated workforce, efficient service delivery, technology-inspired innovation, and an impressive record in handling all types of cargo, the Port of Banjul is also widely acknowledged as one of the safest ports on the continent, with no history of piracy. As a major player in the region's maritime trade, accounting for 90% of all imports and exports, we are more than just a transit point, but a vital cog in the global trade sphere. Come experience a hassle-free fast customs clearance inspired by our simplified trade documentation procedures, safe and efficient cargo and vessel handling. The Port of Banjul offers prompt, reliable and value-for-money service, and customer satisfaction is guaranteed.
It's Friday, the 13th of December 2024. It's meant to be a very unlucky day. Friday the 13th. Well, for us, every day is a lucky day here. We're live on West Coast Radio, and the program is Coffee Time. I am Peter Gomez. Thanks for joining us. The Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, CD Keita, is all set to deliver the national budget speech today at the National Assembly. The speech will outline economic and social commitments the Barrow government will prioritize in the coming year. Minister Keita will provide a detailed plan for next year's spending, including proposals for revenue collection to help fund government's planned interventions and commitments. Government spending is soaring, and government debt is reaching all-time highs relative to the size of the economy. And speaking in the run-up to the upcoming budget speech, the finance minister admitted the rising spending and debt are undermining growth and may lead to debt distress, his own words. The solution, therefore, as one experienced politician has been telling this program, is to downsize most government ministries, departments, and agencies by cutting and terminating unneeded programs and personnel. Former Vice President and one-time Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, BB Dabo, has sought to transmit the message in an exclusive interview with Coffee Time that we have been airing since Monday. His message all week has been that policymakers should change course. They should cut spending and debt to reduce interest costs and support economic growth. And nowhere are cuts needed than in the Foreign Service, according to BB, as we round up what has been a long and wide-ranging conversation. I want to end on foreign policy. Earlier on, you talked about all these foreign missions that we have that are not necessary. Recently, we hosted the OIC, and out of a possible 56 heads of state, only 5 came to join our president. And a lot of people point to that as a serious failure of our foreign policy. What do you understand to be the Gambia's foreign policy?
Well, I mean, I've heard it said by very senior authorities. I think there was a vice president who said Gambia has no foreign policy. I myself don't understand that statement.
The late one, you mean?
Yeah, I don't understand what he meant by that. There is, of course, a foreign policy. There is a foreign policy. It means the stand of the government in terms of foreign relations, based on what considerations. Gambia's foreign policy, as far as I know, has been based on certain cardinal principles. International law as basis for relations, respecting the sovereignty of other countries, equal openness. This is the policy. That is the policy framework. Now, in terms of carrying it out, the diplomacy is the mechanism for carrying it out. And this is done through field staff as well as home-based ministry. This is where really I think there needs to be a good look at carrying out serious reforms and changes. I think it's
so
very
as it
sad.
Is, the policy is not working.
Yeah. The policy is not working because the diplomacy lacks the capacity, the competence, and it's not well structured. It's overstaffed again. Once again, it's really very sad. I say that with a personal feeling of sadness because in my career, one of the functions I performed for a long time, and which I respected a lot, is as a foreign service officer. And I know that the functions of diplomat missions is something requiring specific skills, very strong specific skills. It's not anybody who can do it. And when I see a situation where the foreign service, the diplomacy foreign service is now and the domain where they dump just almost anybody, over-politicize it. It is so sad. At a time also when they overstretch the number of missions we opened. I mean, look at far-flung region like South Latin America and Caribbean. If you are really serious and you think you need to open a mission, and you have to, and these missions have to have a bit of regional kind of reach. You go for countries like Brazil, but you now go to Venezuela at one time, just because this little dictator here thought that man is his friend. You go and open a mission there. I mean, this is not how you approach foreign service. Also, you have a mission in Cuba. Cuba, yes, is a great country. It's close to our hearts, all of us. But we don't need a mission there. If you have to have a mission, perhaps the neighboring countries in the Caribbean there, you put it there because they have more in common, more centrally located. Cuba, we have very useful political relations. We have very useful technical cooperation in the area of health in particular. But we don't even need a mission. That started long before we had a mission, and it can continue without a mission because it's quasi-commercial. If you can pay for their doctors, they will supply you. It's not a big problem. But you have a mission there. In Cuba, last time one of the many scandals that we have seen, took place there. And I was amazed when I read the testimony of one of the, I think the ambassador or the deputy ambassador. That the ambassador would come to office around 2 o'clock in the afternoon because he had no job to do. He would come to the office and, and they sit down there. And not only ambassador, we have a deputy ambassador and all kind of foreign sitting in Cuba doing what? So really, it's not a question of absence of a foreign policy. Maybe they don't understand it themselves. But the diplomatic service, which is supposed to carry out the foreign policy, which is badly structured, overstaffed, and now misused for dumping failed generals, failed politicians, all kind of. This is unbelievable. It's simply unbelievable for a situation where we are coming from a time of terrible governance in the Yahya Jammeh, and we want to change things for the better. And that's why I think, really, take the period of 1994 to date, I don't see any difference between the two regimes. I think it's a continuation. And this is the reason why, as early as 2021, we thought in GFA that we should really try to save the country from these people. It's to carry out what we started in 2016, and the coup has been derailed. The change has been derailed, and we thought we wanted to bring it back in place, and we didn't succeed. Yeah.
Honorable Dabo, thank you very much for your time. Just finally, we haven't spoken about them, but of course the country's youths, I am sure, are important also to the GFA because, as you know, the cliche says, they are the future leaders. What's your advice to the youth, just to bring this conversation to a close?
Advice? Well...
Or maybe a message.
Yeah, I think if I have a message, it will be to the government and to the people of the country. Okay. And really that to recognize that the problem of youth, a sector which should have been an asset, has now been turned into a liability. That problem is very serious and very acute. For far too long, we had been in the comfort zone of hoping that they will go away by illegal migration. But we have seen that has its limitations. It's not taking all of them away, and some of them are coming back. And the problem is increasing here. No, my approach, which I will suggest to the government and to the population, is that this youth problem should be tackled through education and through economic development. If the productive sector is widened, the employment needs of the youths would be largely solved. For their future employment and for their development is the education, the quality of education, particularly technically oriented education. In that direction, some interesting noises are being made by the government. I hope they begin to bear fruit. But this is really what I would suggest to them. And as far as the youths are concerned, I don't want to have to give an advice, but if you ask for my suggestion, I would say, well, they should see, difficult as it is, that the real sustainable way out of their problem is to help this country change its way rather than look to going abroad as the answer. The solution to their problem is not through traveling. It should be really getting things right in the right direction in this country, And that's a thing that all of us have a role, including the youths. The youth should not have the attitude of, we are not interested in politics. If you give us a few football jerseys, we go and play football, that's all, we leave them. I think that's the wrong attitude. We have seen it in neighboring country in Senegal. The agenda for change, for reform, has been first espoused by the youths. And the political party, the PASTEF, has the advantage of being very quick to notice this and went along with them. The Gambian youth should really also get interest in the way the country is run and see to it that they insist on the way that will reflect the need, the urgency, the priority that should give into meeting their needs, not leave it to the politicians and others to do it, and they be happy with just playing football at the end of it.
Honorable Dabo, thank you very much for
Thank
your
you,
time.
Peter. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you so very much.
It's my pleasure.
This is
It's my pleasure. I think I can have
that
a
brings
glass
us
of
to the end of this very special edition of Coffee Time, until we get another opportunity to sit with Honorable Dabo. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for listening.